Good morning, y'all. April 4th, Daily Devotion. Title, What About the Box? Comes out of John 6, 1 through 14. It says, After these things, Jesus went over to the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. Then a great multitude followed him, because they saw his signs which he performed on those who were diseased. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. Now the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was near. And Jesus lifted up his eyes, seeing a great multitude coming toward him. He said to Philip, Where shall we buy bread that these may eat? But this he said to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may have a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, There's a lad here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish, but what are they among so many? And Jesus said, Make the people sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down in number about 5,000. Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed them to the disciples, and the disciples to those sitting down, and likewise of the fish, as much as they wanted. So when they were filled, he said to his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, so that nothing is lost. Therefore they gathered them up, and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which were left over by those who had eaten. Then those men, when they had seen the sign that Jesus did, said, This is truly the prophet who is to come into the world. Devotion says, One time I ordered a 28-ounce steak at a restaurant. Big mistake. I had the remainder boxed up to take home. I looked forward to another feast. As I left the restaurant, a homeless man approached me asking for money. At first, I refused, but struck by guilt, I gave him $5 and blessed him in Jesus' name. I was happy to go on my way, boxed up steak in hand, till he asked, What about the box? I have to admit I had a hard time parting with my steak. One of my favorite New Testament stories is about the little boy who brown bagged it to a revival service. He was willing to give his lunch of 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish to Jesus. Maybe he knew that Jesus could do something extraordinary with it. And he did. He fed thousands of hungry people. Jesus is still looking for folks like us who are willing to commit out of the ordinary intentional acts of selfless sacrifice so he can turn our offering into his glory. Y'all have a blessed day.